Hello, What Culture? My name is Simon Miller, and welcome to a very special edition of Ups and Downs, because we are indeed going to focus on the latest NXT Takeover. And we're going to give you a little spoiler here. I know some people are like, oh, too long, didn't read, couldn't be bothered to go through the whole video. Well, I tell you right now, this is one of the best WWE pay-per-views you're likely to see in 2018. As I stand here and think about it, I don't even see where I'm going to work the downs in. That's right, that's how good it was. Again, I'm Simon Miller, it's What Culture Wrestling, it's ups and downs. Let's up those downs. The big question, at least from my end, was how NXT was going to work their way through an entire pay-per-view without at least one teeny tiny little swerve. And they proved they could do that within the first few seconds of the damn thing getting up. While it had long been touted that we were going to film Cassius Ohno versus Matt Riddle here, but air it on NXT television, somebody decided, screw that, let's have a little bit of fun. So at the very start of the show, Matt Riddle came out, said he didn't want to wait until that night, and he wanted to have the match right now. And as a side note, Matt Riddle is absolutely beloved by the fans because he's a damn hero. Ohno arrived while also insulting Riddle by saying, look, you fool, you're not meant to be out here right now, you've got your times wrong. Do you know what Matt Riddle did? He kneed Cassius Ohno in the face and beat him in around about 6.2 seconds. I mean, if you wanted to start the process of turning Riddle into a star, I don't see how you could have done it better than this. I'm also not sure how anybody could actually dislike the former MMA guy. I mean, he's just a happy chap. We then had Kairi Sane challenging for the Women's NXT Championship against Shayna Baszler, and I'm just going to say this. Shayna Baszler's improvement and evolution over the last few months has been nothing short of incredible. Getting up. This was a 2 out of 3 falls match and the best contest this pairing has ever had. And if you take away from that, it was just a good match in its own right in the first place. The story was essentially the lightning quick pace of Sane that kept surprising Baszler, but the champ kept finding a way to balance the books because her old friends kept interfering, and that of course would have been Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. Screwed Kairi for the first fall as well because they beat her up and then threw her bones to Shayna Baszler, who made her tap out. I don't mean literally. He didn't like rip off her skin and take her blood and drain that, drink the blood like crazy people, and then throw away all like, I don't know, the kidneys and the liver. It's just a saying, you throw the bones, don't worry about it, we're now 1 up to Shayna Baszler. Fall 2 was equally as frantic, the highlight coming in this crazy spot where Shayna Baszler was going to suplex Kairi Sane on the apron, but she reversed it into a DDT and smashed Baszler's head into the floor. That gave her the upper hand, she hit the insane elbow, 1, 2, 3, now we're 1 for 1. Triple H then clearly decided this match wasn't nuts enough, and believe you me it was, because not only did Duke and Shafir come back, but they were also joined by Dakota Kai and Io Shirai. They were there to even the odds and try and help out the babyface, and then Shirai hit the most crazy moonsault I'd ever seen, until about an hour later, when Ricochet topped it. I mean, she looked like a damned aeroplane, flying through the sky and then zooming down onto her opponents. Unfortunately, all of this kind of overshadowed everything that was going on inside the ring, so when Kairi Sane went for one more insane elbow, Baszler was waiting, she reversed it, rolled her up, gave her another 3 count, won the match. She remains your NXT Women's Championship. And this was awesome. And technically, we're only 1 match in. Technically. Then Aleister Black defeated Johnny Gargano, and holy mincemeat, was this ridiculously good. It's another one of those just go and watch it for goodness sake, as storytelling, character work, and everything that was happening inside the ring came together to just create absolute gold. And that's why, as I'm here and I've said the word gold, I'm also going to give it a golden up. And it all just led to a glorious point of satisfaction. If you don't know what that means, it just means it's really entertaining. Gargano kept imitating Black throughout the whole time. Black looked like a man possessed, and even throughout spots I wasn't expecting. Like at one point, Johnny was going to super kick Aleister Black, and he stopped him, and he just did his pose in the middle of the ring, and that sent all the fans into fits of frenzy. And I was going a bit crazy too. I was on my sofa, and my hair fell out. Hence why I'm now bald. It all turned after Black had brutally kneed Gargano in the face after he had attempted a suicide dive, and then Johnny boy went all heel on us. He was begging Aleister Black, just finish me off, please, I want to die. But it was all a ruse, because then he tried to roll up Aleister, and unfortunately, that didn't work. Didn't work too well, Johnny, did it? You kind of shot yourself in the foot. Eventually, Black hit the Black Mass not once, but twice onto Gargano, and the good guy, see what I did there, walked away for the win, and as he did, I'm sure we were all doing this. That was a match worthy of all our applause. The Heavyweight Championship was on the line next as Tommaso Ciampa was defending against the Velveteen Dream, and have a guess what this is going to get. Remember the start of the video, let your brain be active, fire off all those neutrons, whatever they're called. Getting up. The most exciting thing here is that for a while everybody's been saying, well, you know, Velveteen Dream, he's really good, but he needs a little bit more time in developmental. Well, if this was anything to go by, I'm going to say that man is 100% ready. He came out here in his NWO Hollywood Hogan inspired gear, and he was just one of those professional wrestlers that you want to show other people and tell your friends about, because he just gets it. He understands what all this nonsense is. And he was instantly revered because once the two men had backed into a corner and Ciampa kind of messed up his hair, you know what Velveteen Dream did? Slapped him right around the face. There was a bunch of leg drop teases throughout, and let's not forget about Ciampa here, who probably is the best heel in all of WWE, and I think that's another reason why I got so much out of this. Pro wrestling is just so much better when we've got a good guy that everybody loves and a bad guy that everybody hates. This makes me happy. It makes it so much easier to buy in. Screw all this shades of grey nonsense. I want guys that I can, have heart and feelings for, and I want other guys who I just want to stomp in the face. There were plenty of near falls. At one time, Ciampa threatened to use his title to get one over Velveteen Dream, and the highlight, or at least the best bit for me, is they were fighting over the commentary desk. Mauro Ranallo called Ciampa a son of a bitch, and I think Ciampa heard, because then he turned attention to him, and he was going to whip the commentator's ass instead. Alas, it was now where it all went bad for the Dream, because not only did he miss an elbow drop, but Tommaso took advantage of that, and he DDT'd the man on that steel bit that was connecting both rings together, and that's right, he got the pinfall victory to retain his title. He even gave Velveteen a kiss on the cheek afterwards, because of course, he is an absolute asshole. But it was perfection. Then it was our main event, it was Wargames, and yes, it's getting an up, and as we know, there ain't no more matches on this show, which means we've gone through a whole NXT Takeover, and we haven't given anything a down. And again, yeah, there was only 4 contests, but that is still quite the feat. Getting it up. Another one of those where I can't actually do the carnage justice unless I build the Wargame structure in my house and then just start throwing myself around. Everybody in this held up their own weight, especially the War Raiders, because not only were they throwing each other around, but they were even picking other members up of their own team and hurling them across the ring too. At one point they grabbed Ricochet and chucked him from one ring into the other. And they did that to break up a pinfall. And I think if excitement could actually burst through your bodies, everybody's skin at this point would have just melted off and excitement would have run around the house. You'd be chasing it going, oh no, excitement, come back. But you wouldn't be able to get it because there'd be more excitement in this match. Eventually you'd be dead. So essentially this main event probably could have killed people in this parallel universe I just created for all of us. Fair play to Ricochet too for being the crazy Mother Hubbard that he is, because he decided to climb up to one of the top of these cages, and he did a double moonsault, I bloody well tell you. Sound like Michael Caine up in here, he blew the bloody doors off and here he's doing bloody double moonsault. There's so much more we could talk about as well, including the cool kind of under-narrative where Pete Dunne kept wanting to try and get into the match, but other members of his own team would go out in front to the point Undisputed Era went, all right, fine, we're going to go lock Dunne in his little pod. And they got a padlock, and they did just that. Or there was this ridiculous powerbomb / suplex spot crazy thing, which I'm officially going to dub the car wreck, because that's what it looked like. It was the good guys' night as well, because after the bitter end and the 450, both Ricochet and Pete Dunne pinned Adam Cole, and that was that. The Undisputed Era had lost. Pete Dunne, Ricochet, the War Raiders, they had their hands in the air. They were pretty happy, because, they'd won a wrestling match, and that really was their whole goal for Saturday. Make sure we win the wrestling match. And they did. It also proves that you don't have to do a million things on a pay-per-view to ensure your event rock. NXT has just rewritten the rulebook once again. I had a good time. If you hadn't watched it, go watch it now, and I promise you, you will have a good time as well. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's Takeover. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com, read some articles about NXT Takeover, and follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. Also, you're on YouTube. You may as well watch some more WhatCulture wrestling videos instead. What else have you got to do today? Nothing. My name is Simon from WhatCulture, and don't forget, in around about 24 hours, we're going to up those downs for Survivor Series. And now the question is, can it top NXT Takeover? A lot of people are saying no, but you never know. And that's why I get excited. See you soon.